This is a demonstration for the two-handed coil fitting technique needed to correctly fit Levosert. As you can see, this uterine depth measures to 7 cm on this model. Open Levosert a third of the way up the packet to maintain sterility of the device. Remove the threads which are being held by the blue flange, followed by the plunger. Note the first indent and the second indent. Place the plunger into the insertion tube, keeping the ring of the plunger in line with the blue flange. Insert until you reach the first indent. With your non-dominant hand, firmly grasp the plunger and insertion tube together over the first indent to steady them as you load Levosert. Maintaining this grasp with your non-dominant hand, use your dominant hand to pull the threads firmly. This loads Levosert into the insertion tube. The arms of Levosert are now together but slightly above the insertion tube. The lower part of the insertion tube is now in line with the upper part of the first indent. The Levosert system is now loaded and fixed, ready to fit, as the knot holds Levosert still within the insertion tube. You must always use the bottom part of the blue flange of Levosert to correspond with the sounding measure. Our model is 7 cm. Now insert Levosert into the cervical canal, advancing all the way to the upper part of the blue flange. Holding the ring of the plunger firmly with your non-dominant hand to keep the plunger absolutely still, with your dominant hand, move the insertion tube down to the second indent. You can see that the arms of the Levosert have been released. To position Levosert fundally, push the insertion tube simultaneously with the plunger until the top of the blue flange is in contact with the cervix again. Here is a slower version of the insertion technique. Holding the ring of the plunger firmly with your non-dominant hand to keep the plunger absolutely still, with your dominant hand, move the insertion tube down to the ring of the plunger. Levosert has now been fitted. Carefully remove the plunger from the insertion tube, followed by the insertion tube from the cervix. Now trim the Levosert threads to 2 to 3 cm.